Hi, Vampir's Kiss.
An Angel.
And we have Jamie here, and we're going to kind of just do an overview of our vacation. I kind of wanted to do that just because I thought there was a lot of really good things we had done, and I just kind of wanted to do it for ourselves and then share it with you all. So we originally, when we planned this vacation, we had planned it to go to Family Jams, which is in Chatsworth at Spawn Ranch. Well, when I did this, I had the vacation right on the tail, almost the tail end of the previous vacation, so I couldn't. We only had like 6 days between rental cars, returning the one rental car and having to pick up the rental car again. And so that meant we left on the 22nd. And well, the longer I thought about it, the more I got nervous about driving in LA and stuff. And so I backed out. I just got scared. And so I didn't get to go see, none of us got to go see Jimmy or Stoner. No, it was
That's
kind of a bummer because it looks like they had a good time. But, I'm definitely going next year for the 50th because, man, that's huge, 50 years. And if I have to get a lobotomy to be able to drive in LA, I'm going to do it because, I mean, seriously, yeah, we are. We're going to do it. Because I'm not kidding. I know that I really missed out on something really special this year and being able to see Jimmy and Stoner, and Julie was there, and of course Izzy was there, Tracy was there.
Everybody.
Yeah, there was more people there. If I missed your name, I'm sorry. But yeah, I would have loved to have seen all of you. So yeah.
I would like to see Jimmy because I like him.
Yeah, I know.
He's the best.
He is the best, and he's such a good guy. Well, Stoner's really good too. He's got a big heart too. He's just more
He's nice too.
He's more outspoken than Jimmy is. That's the difference. So anyway, with that being said, we ended up planning the vacation. I have my little. Remember, any of you who watch our videos, I tirade about GPS, so I use paper maps. Well, this vacation, I decided that I would pay tribute in my own way to one of my favorite vloggers. Her name is Wonder Hussy. I mean, this woman, I've talked about her before. This woman is like, she pulled me out of a hole that I can't even express to you the hole that I was in. And that wasn't literally, that was, that's just a metaphor for it. And as I started watching her videos, I certainly didn't think I could do what she did, but it gave me inspiration, and it made me think that maybe it could just be a hobby that I could do. And I brought Angel along with me on this little journey that I'm doing.
Yeah.
Because it seemed like people liked him when he was on the videos, and so I thought, well, I'm gonna. I don't know why.
I don't know why either.
I'm going to capitalize on that because you need everything you can get just to get viewers on YouTube. But so this was kind of my tribute to Wonder Hussy. Of course, Wonder Hussy does a lot of hiking and goes back into the woods. She has a Toyota 4Runner, and all we had was a Chevy Malibu, so obviously we couldn't do that. Plus, she's in way better shape than any of us are, including Angel. And
I can.
I don't think so. You couldn't do some of the hiking she does. But she does do these little roadside attractions, and that was the part that was in honor of her. And, I thought about her a lot on this vacation. So we ended up leaving on the 22nd because that was the day we picked up the car. And from here, our very first stop was just a mere 50 miles away in Grants, New Mexico. Well, come on, people, talk. I had kind of decided one of the things we were going to highlight on this vacation was trains.
I love trains.
Yes, trains are great. I love locomotives, and I love cabooses. So there's a caboose in Grants that sits right in front of, I think, their city hall, or maybe where their water Bureau is.
Probably.
It's in a park.
Yeah, it's in a small park that's there. It's also got the arch for the Route 66 that we have yet to see that thing at night in person. We've seen it on, the YouTube, not the YouTube, on the Facebook. One day maybe we'll be there at night. We'll actually be able to put a car that we own in it. Well, I mean, we did get a picture of Stella inside of it, but it was during the day. But that's where this first Caboose was that we went to. And then from there, we didn't go very far. It took a long time because between Grants and Gallup, there was an accident. Was it an accident? It had to have been an accident.
Well, first it was the rainstorm.
Oh,
Then it was the accident.
really? I thought the rainstorm came after.
Rainstorm
No, I think
accident?
Either way, it was.
Yeah. I think the
It could have
accident.
been the rainstorm first, then the accident.
No, I think it was the accident. Anyway, there's this. I'm not sure where it is, and it was actually someplace I almost put on our agenda. It was called Church Rock, or maybe Fallen Church Rock, something like that.
Okay.
But we didn't go. Well, big mistake, because if we had gone and gotten off on that
We
exit,
could have gone right through.
we could have went right through this.
Right through.
I mean, it took what? It took an hour or more.
2 hours with the accident, and then
Yeah, and it was awful. But thank God, I can't say, I don't know what the names of the two trucking companies are, but there was two truckers that they were just like 1 or 2 cars behind me. They did this thing where they got into the center of the highway and they wouldn't allow people to pass us, because I'm sure all of you have been in this situation where they say, this lane ends, and then you've got all those, I call them
inconsiderate people.
that was a nice
people.
way of putting it. I call them way worse. That just keep going up the lane that is the one that closes, so that they can,
Get ahead.
get ahead. I'm sure there's a term for that. And this one trucker, he was in a white truck, which I know that's very nondescript. He blocked off the lane for a long, long time. And then when he came into our lane to be in the right lane for when it pulled over, a trucker that was in a purple truck finished it off until we got to right where we needed to be. And actually they had opened up the highway just as we got there, or we would have had to go this back way.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, I think you were like playing, you were playing your tablet most of the time. You missed everything. Anyway, so that was our first little mishap, but the first place we stopped was Gallup. And we had, I belong to AARP, or I should say David does, and then I'm his second. And we get
David's old.
David's old.
God, that
He
was-
can't even hike up none.
Okay, let's be nice. Okay. Anyway, we got an issue. That magazine highlights different things in your state, which was something I had never noticed until we got this issue about 10 different locomotives in New Mexico. And one of the locomotives was in Gallup. So did you Google it?
Yeah, I got the address, but it was totally not where it was.
Yeah.
No.
It was
It was
Yeah, they
way
were.
off this way. It said it was over here. Like, okay.
Yeah, it was
Whatever.
it told us to go down this road, which was actually the entrance to go back onto 40. And then it told us the park will be right there on your right. Well, a lot of good that does. Once you get off on, get onto that thing to get onto the highway, you can't park. Plus there was a fence there. But we went, and actually I kind of knew, I didn't know where to go. I had actually went where I didn't go where I was supposed to go, and we seen it, and we weren't so sure it was actually the locomotive because it was a very small one.
Mm-hmm.
It was probably one that was used for mining. They used to mine,
coal, diamonds, emeralds.
yeah, we wish, uranium in this state. Uranium was a big one, and I'm pretty sure they must have mined that in Gallup too, because I know they mined it in
Grant.
Grants, so I imagine they did it in Gallup also. But it ended up being a cool little, I'm not even sure if it's called a locomotive when it's that small. But they had some interesting things there, and we got those all on film.
You remember the big giant guitar. You got
Oh
behind?
yeah, yeah. We sent the picture to Jimmy. Yeah, that was where that was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was too big for me.
Yeah, it was too big for everybody. And then from there, we didn't get very far in each day we went. Oh, I'm on the wrong side of the map.
No, we stopped at the Continental Divide.
Oh yeah, because okay. The last time we had went, I mean, I got a picture of the Continental Divide when David and I went. I actually made him back up the highway to get that picture. But I mean, a bee in my bonnet. I wanted a picture of the Continental Divide going up 40. And the last time, which I can't even remember, it must have been when we were on vacation, the year that we had went to Memphis and we were supposed to go to New Orleans and everything, and the humidity just drove us crazy, and we turned around and came back and went to Arizona. Like, that's my go-to place, Arizona. The Continental Divide, that exit was like being worked on, and by the time we realized that it was being worked on, it was too late to take another exit to go back to it. So this time it wasn't, and we were able to get a picture of the Continental Divide and of course pick up some postcards and things like that.
She likes
I almost
postcards.
forgot about that one. And then the next place we went was Holbrook, and that's in Arizona. We had already done the Petrified Forest the year that we went when we didn't like Memphis. And so I didn't see a need to go back and do the Petrified Forest again, even though it's very beautiful there.
Yeah.
It really is. But it's quite a long drive. And when you drive it, the way that they have you going through the park, like you miss Holbrook. You actually you're dropped off outside the park beyond Holbrook. And so if we would have went, we would have totally missed Holbrook again, like we did the year that we went.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I figured that out, because that's why we didn't see Knife City.
I still want to go there. I want knives. I love knives. I want to go to Knife City.
See, I didn't stop at Knife City because I was afraid it would...
It's like exit 297 or so. I won't go to Knife City.
See, I didn't go to Knife City because I was afraid it cost too much money. It'd be like going to Guntown. You know?
What's Knife City and Guntown?
Well, Guntown, I just made up Guntown. But yeah, because I would have wanted all those cool knives for in the kitchen and stuff, and that was why I didn't go. And I
Cool
didn't want
knives?
to charge up the card
Yeah.
before we even had our first night in a motel.
What?
Yeah.
But the reason I picked Holbrook to be our first stop in Arizona was a friend of mine named Leanne that I went to school with. She had told me about a website called Atlas Obscuria. Is that how you? I hope that's how you say it.
So, yeah, something like that.
Yeah, and also I found another one called Roadside Attractions. And so you plug in where you're going, and it gives you all this weird stuff that you don't normally find in your tour books and guidebooks. And one of the things in Holbrook was a street called the Bucket of Blood. And I've
That
already...
sign in that
Yeah,
road.
that yeah, that was a great place. That was actually, I thought that was one of the better highlights of the whole vacation, to be utterly honest.
Yeah, the Bucket of Blood was the best part about this vacation.
I don't know if it was the best, but it was up there, definitely. And so that was why we stopped there. And actually, not everything ends up on those two websites that I had mentioned. And so, but it had been, I knew that we needed to get to Winslow, and it was already because somewhere between, I'm pretty sure it was between Gallup and Holbrook, we got stuck in that rainstorm. And oh my God, I'm just going to touch on this just a little bit. It was awful. The visibility was like almost zero. I'm not kidding. I couldn't figure out how to use the headlights on the car properly, and I had to actually hold the thing to keep my brights on. And the person I was behind, I don't know what state they were from, what country they were from. You know, it's customary to put your headlights on whenever you're in something where you cannot see in front of you 2 feet. And this person didn't have their headlights on. And so the only way I could see where I was going and be able to watch where I was going was I kind of kept right on the very edge of that thing that goes on the side of the road. And I was watching the white line too. And then I was trying to keep an eye out for that car that was in front of us in case the idiot thought he should stop right in the middle of the road.
Wait, that storm?
Yes, it was really bad.
Oh,
And
I
let me tell you,
remember.
I'm just like, I kept chanting to myself, I'm a hollow bone, I'm a hollow bone, so that I could keep my nerves about me and get through it. I mean, it felt like it was 30 minutes going through there, where in reality it was probably what? 2 minutes. But it felt like 30. I mean, I'm not kidding. It was probably the most, well, when we get to Vegas, I'll tell about that. But other than Vegas, it was probably the most hair raising thing that we did, that we went through. It was scary. The sky was completely black. I mean, if I'd had my wits about me, I probably would have had Jamie videotaping it. I mean, that was, it was.
And I was trying to figure out how to keep the windshield wipers because they kept going off, and so I'm hanging over to turn them on and keep them on.
Yeah, because I was white knuckling it, and also we were steaming up the windows because we were all breathing heavy. It was, it was pretty scary. But let me tell you, I was super proud of myself. A lot of times when situations like that happen, where I have to muster everything inside of me, and I'm scared really bad because I was scared really bad. I almost have this like out of body thing happen to me where I do black out and then when I end up wherever I'm at, I don't know how I got there. Well, I can confidently say I did not black out once because I remember this whole thing, and I think it was because of chanting I'm a hollow bone through the whole thing and just allowing what was happening just to flow through me and not to find any place to stick inside of me. And so I thank my shaman Liz for that, because she was the one that told me whenever my empath thing goes awry that I need to chant that. Well, it works for other things too. Thank you, Liz. Okay, then back on the road now. Holbrook, we went to Winslow, which we had been to Winslow before because I insisted we had to stand on the corner in Winslow. All because of the song, everybody has to go to the corner.
Yep.
Which I was deeply disappointed the very first time because they had a nondescript statue of a guy standing on the corner at that time.
Well, he's still there.
Well, he's still there, but since then, unfortunately, we lost Glenn Fry. But in their infinite wisdom, they did a statue of him. He's not on the corner. I really think he should be the one on the corner.
But he's up a little bit from the corner.
Yeah, he's up a little bit from the corner. But at least Glenn is there. And
He's
so
near the corner.
He's near the corner.
He's near the corner.
So it's standing near the corner in Arizona now. in Winslow, Arizona, yeah. So I was really glad because, boy, that statue, he really does look like Glenn. They did a really good likeness. I'm glad they didn't hire, an artist that didn't know what he was doing.
Yeah.
They did a really great job. So it was well worth the stop. And also it was really funny because now you did use Google Maps to get us there.
Yeah, I use Google Maps for everything. And 90% of the time, it did get us where we needed to go, except for those 2 times.
It seemed like more than 2. And it was funny because the first time we went, to standing on the corner, it took us all the way through town because we went past a big old bulldog that stands in front of a school, which I had plans of stopping and taking pictures of Angel in front of the bulldog, but we didn't go past the bulldog. It was like it took us on another exit, and it was just like down a road, one turn, and there we were, which was, I even commented to Jamie then, wow, Google did a really good job on that one. So I was very pleased. And that was the only thing we did in Winslow. I mean, there's other things to do, but I had kind of weighed our options, and I mean, as much as I would like to see that meteor hole, I'm not sure they call that a hole, but they filmed Starman there with Jeff Bridges and Karen Allen. I refused to pay. For the 3 of us, it would have been close to like $60-$70. I just refused to pay that for me.
It could be just you and me.
For a hole in the ground?
Yeah, but it was a meteor hole.
Whatever, it's a hole.
It's not just a hole. It's a meteor hole.
And
they filmed a movie there too. So anyway.
It's not just a hole.
Well, let's not argue. Well, anyway, so we passed that up second time going through there. And where we ended up staying was in Flagstaff, and it had been raining again, wasn't it? But it didn't rain as bad, and it almost felt like late fall, because it was kind of chilly. It was wet. It was icky. I didn't like it too much, and we, that was another thing on this vacation. I mean, we were on 40 this whole time, but being on those back roads and stuff, finding places to eat that didn't have the name McDonald in it, was really hard.
McDonald's.
Yeah, and most of the time we didn't get to eat until late at night, and Flagstaff was no different. Because once I got the car parked, because I was real paranoid about the car getting ripped off, because I always am, we had to walk. And the first place we walked was McDonald's, and when I seen the prices, because that was what was closest, I stood there, I kind of had a fit in the middle of McDonald's, and I said, I'm just not paying that much for garbage, because it is garbage food in my opinion.
I like
Yeah,
McDonald's.
Golden Big Mac apparently.
Because, I think it's because it's close to the Grand Canyon, which is, I'll talk about that in a second, where we did, and that's why everything costs so much money there. But we ended up turning around, and I said, if I'm going to pay that much, even though this is only a tiny step up, we went to Subway.
I love Subway.
Yeah, well, I wasn't real thrilled because I was really worried about the lettuce situation, because I've been kind of paranoid about lettuce ever since the 2 E. coli breakouts. But we went there anyway and ate. But Jamie, do you want to tell about our experience in the Motel 6? I shall have a drink.
Oh my God. You know what? Okay. Are you sure that was Flagstaff? Because I'm thinking...
The showering people?
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about the other one with the woman. Okay.
No, this was the
Oh my God. Okay. Yeah. Upstairs, I don't know what the buffalo were doing.
Yeah, they were going...
But they were showered at least 4 or 5 times that night.
Or there could have been like multiple people.
And they... it was an urgency because they were running to it. But, I'll take the buffalo running to the shower over what happened at
let's talk about that
couple nights later any day.
Yeah, we oh, God. Okay.
Do I get to talk about that one, though?
Yeah, you can talk about that one when we get there, too.
Do I get anything to talk about?
Yeah, okay. Now, just listen. So anyway, in Flagstaff, we stayed in a Motel 6, as she said. And because I tried to save us some money. I was trying to conserve, because I knew when we got to Vegas it would cost us a lot more. Well, it ended up, I don't know what happened in the time that we went on vacation 2 years ago to today, but Motel 6 is no longer your $39.95 or 30s or $45.95 place to stay. No. Those places cost almost as much as, like a Days Inn or don't blow on me, just about any place. And of course, I tried to, it took me 2 nights of Motel 6, or actually 3 nights of Motel 6 before I finally said forget it. But when we were in Flagstaff, I wanted to go, this was the whole reason we even went to the downtown historic district, was because I don't know how many people know that Flagstaff literally is named after a flagstaff on their courthouse, because it could be seen for miles. And I just got a real kick out of that, because it's not very often that something is so totally literal like that. And I wanted to get a little video about that and a picture of it. Well, while we were down there, there's also a motel, or I guess it's a hotel, called the Monte Vista. It's supposed to be haunted. Well,
remember?
Yeah, the one you went in and you said, what did you say it looked like inside?
Okay, it looked like from American Horror Story. I don't know if you heard of that before, but it's a scary show.
Yeah, and it did.
Cool.
Yeah, very
Yeah,
cool. And
cool.
we went in there. I didn't videotape inside there because I was being respectful since I wasn't a guest. Because actually we were going to try to stay there. Well, there was 2 things. First of all, Vampy is very literal. And I read on the internet that nobody under 18 could stay there. Well, that's all it said. Nobody, no guests under 18. Okay, well, to Vampy, that meant nobody under 18. And I thought, man, what a ridiculous rule. What about families? Okay, well, when we went into the motel, I asked the desk person, why can't children stay here? And she says, what do you mean? And I said, well, your website says nobody under 18.
Oh, I remember.
Yeah, and she says, that means nobody under 18 without their parents. And this is what I said to her, well, why didn't it say that? You know,
Oh my
I mean,
gosh.
well, she says, well, you could have called us to clarify. Well, excuse me, I read it, and that's just what I took it as. So, but then the second part was, we couldn't afford it. It was like, what, $155 for a night?
Yeah.
It was very expensive, and Vampy loves her money too much to be spending that much on a night
I
in a
love
motel.
my money.
Although if
Yeah.
we could have gotten a haunted room, it so would have been worth it.
Oh yeah,
I don't know.
it would totally be worth it, but
I don't know.
they should have put that on their website. That no one or a kid can't.
No, the kid
Book 'em.
can't. No, the kid could stay with their parents, but
no,
not.
Yeah.
You're right. You're saying
Oh.
nobody under 18 can book a room. is
Oh.
what she
Yeah,
said,
book
too.
a room without their parents.
Oh, okay, yeah, you're exactly right. So that was their poopod, so they made a mistake.
Yeah. They
So-
made a big mistake.
So anyway, I got lots of still pictures of the place, and I plan on linking them together and making like just a still framed video for the YouTube. And what else did we see down there? It was just a really cool area. They had a lot of stuff, but we had
Big
a
thermometer.
big thermometer.
Thermometer's
Yeah,
a huge,
Yeah, well, we were there.
thermometer.
we got a phone call from the Social Security office on something with David's retirement, so that kind of put the squashes to anything more we could do, because we had a heck of a time figuring out how to use their meter.
What do you?
There was a train there too.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
yeah. Also, this was a bonus. On the right, well, we were going. I don't know which way we were going. I was getting all confused, but
You're
from the
going that way.
yeah, we were going that way.
You were
And
going
from the
that
opposite
way.
side of the street from where downtown was a little park and their train depot. And they had a really cool locomotive there. And that was, oh God, you know, of course I just got all excited. And that was the first thing we stopped and we were filming that. And then that was when I looked up, because usually I'm looking down.
I don't remember.
And I seen the Monte Vista and I got really excited. And then we went and parked the car and did a little bit down there. But like I said, we had a
I
real
don't remember.
You don't remember the?
You don't remember that? We had to walk all the way around because we were trapped inside that parking lot. You got some smashed pennies there.
We'll show you pictures later.
Yeah, we'll show you.
Wait, is it that one with the wood in the back?
Yes, I believe so.
I don't remember that.
I just did your train book on Shutterfly, so yes, that was the one.
I'll have to get my train book.
Okay. So that was a bonus. All in all, I would definitely go back to Flagstaff and look up some of the stuff that's in the downtown area. I really think that is a place, you know, and I always kind of didn't like Flagstaff because of the traffic, but I'm telling you, and I'm talking about the traffic on I-40, I'm telling you, it's a really cool little town. It's got a lot of, it'd be worth a
Yeah.
weekend trip, I think,
Yeah.
really. But, and so we left there about noonish or so, and this was someplace that Jamie wanted to go. I wasn't, I could have lived with it or without it. So I'll let Jamie tell this part of the story.
You can tell the story to the people.
What, Arizona?
Yeah, Arizona.
I thought it looked fun.
Yeah,
It actually was fun.
Arizona was in Williams, Arizona, which is not very far from Flagstaff, and it was expensive. The three of us.
Well, I mean, I knew it would be. It's a like a drive-through. I don't know. Drive-through zoo.
Where all the
Yeah.
animals are loose.
Yeah, it's because they're.
Tranquilized.
Yeah, and that was.
Phew.
I mean, I don't like that, but the fact that it's something that we've never done before, and I thought he might like it. And
Actually,
you see-
it was cool.
Yeah. See, now Jamie says something we never done before. Okay. Well,
I don't. Oh, yeah. Well, okay.
We did too do something like that. I can't remember the name of it, but in Oregon, down by Medford, they have something just like that. And when we were coming home from my aunt's, she lived in Klamath Falls, I didn't have much money, but thank God it wasn't very expensive at that time. We went through there, and like an emu stuck its head in the car and everything. And I'm almost thinking that
I would like
you
to
and I and your dad actually did that too. So I'm actually thinking we had been there twice.
Well, I'll have to find pictures because I don't remember it at all.
I would like a moose
I might have
sticking
not-
its head in the car.
Not a moose, I said an emu.
Oh, I thought you
That's
said
a bird.
moose.
No. Oh my God, you gotta be careful of mooses. They're dangerous. My friend Lisa from Alaska is always going yelling and screaming at her dog, "Stay away from that moose!" So yeah, all in all, I really did like Arizona.
The bears were cute the way they were sleeping, like one leg, up on the tree. They were so,
Oh
and
yeah,
they were getting in the
so
big water
cute.
buckets.
yeah.
They were cute.
Yeah.
And they warned you, roll up your windows, the animals can attack. Oh, please. They have them
I was hanging out the window with the camera.
They have them tranquilized, and you could see the little like orange dart thing on them. So I don't know what they're talking about. I've never seen such
Hold on.
docile animals.
Yeah.
When we first went in, one of them still had the tranquilizer
Yeah.
in their butt.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
yes, that was
Yeah, and
a mountain goat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can't even explain it.
Yeah, I about had a cow because I'm totally against zoos anyway, because I just don't think animals should be caged up for our enjoyment. I think they should be free. And when I seen that they, I thought maybe this was a step up because at least they're in an area where they can run around and do things. But then when I found out that they drug them, I was not pleased about that.
No.
And I think I do tirade about that on the video about the jaguar, how
Jaguar.
yeah, whatever how you say that. How he goes, he just keeps doing the same thing repetitively because
He
that's all they do.
he kept doing the circle around.
Yeah, because we have a polar bear here at our New Mexico zoo or our Albuquerque zoo, I guess
polar
I
bear?
should.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the polar bear does the same thing over and over and over again, and nothing stops him from doing it. He gets up on this slide or this like iceberg looking thing, and he falls into the water, swims over to a certain spot, just does it over and over again. And if you care anything about animals, you just want to cry seeing this because to me it's inhumane.
Well,
So
we
that's
let
all
our
I'm is-
chickens roam free.
Yeah, I know, but they don't do the same thing over and over and over
No,
again.
they do different things.
So
I thought the otters were cute too.
Oh yeah, the
I love
otters, and I did
otters.
post a video on the otters, and they didn't do the same thing over and over again.
No.
They-
And you could actually feed them
Yeah, like
And
little,
you fed them little
the
sardines
fish.
or fish?
little
the
sard-
tiny fish.
Yeah, I didn't feed them. I didn't want my hands to
He
stink.
fed them though.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. The otters were cute when they were getting fed with the fish. It was cute.
Yeah, I didn't get any video when he was doing that, but when after we went into the little gift shop and came back out, nobody was feeding them, so they were doing pretty much what they wanted to do, and I was able to catch them up on the rock and stuff, and I think I didn't really talk in that video. I just kind of let it go, and I really
They should have talked.
why it was a good video.
People
So,
do
anyway,
like enjoyment.
From there, another place that we went, which when I seen the weather, almost made me think it was a whole really bad mistake. But it ended up being way further away than I thought, because it was close to 100 miles out of our way to and from.
Yeah, it didn't seem like that on the map.
Yeah, it didn't look like that on the map. It was called Bedrock City. Now, let's not confuse this with Bedrock City that's in South Dakota, Rapid City. That is definitely the Bedrock City.
Oh, I had so much fun there as a kid.
Wait,
But this one, yeah, this is where Fred was, and you remember they put you in jail because you just couldn't be good?
Oh.
Yeah, but you broke out,
But you broke out, and you broke their jail.
Yeah. I'm free.
Yeah, you're free, that's you.
Yeah, that was
And I thought, I probably will never get to South Dakota because it's a long ways from here, and it would be like if I was going to do a South Dakota trip with Rapid City and all that involved, and Medora and things like that, and I would want 3 weeks, and 3 weeks would be a really expensive vacation. And so
3 weeks.
that's why I was willing to drive this, and oh my God, the sky started doing the same thing that it did when we were coming from between Gallup and Holbrook. And we were on a 2-lane highway this time. Oh, I tell you, I was so scared. I just wanted to get there. You know, that was when, you know, you're in that fight or flight mode. And thank God somebody was watching over us, and the rain didn't really get that bad, and it never got so I couldn't see. Because I swear to God, I thought we were going to end up dead on that road. But
Right.
it didn't happen. We're here telling you and boring you to death about our vacation. Okay, from there, our next stop was Prescott. And that what we did was we went from Williams. Actually, no, back it up. I don't know why we went into Williams. I guess because it said historical, but we didn't go into Williams right away. We did it after we came back from Bedrock City. And they had a really cool, like, iron rod archway that said Williams, and it said the year it was established. And, you know, I'm always pushing the envelope, so I went a little further. And they are in the midst of building a train museum there. And we did a lot of footage there of, it was mostly passenger cars. There was a few locomotives. They weren't that old. But it was really cool of the things they did have. And it would definitely is someplace I would go once they're done doing their train museum thing, because it looks like it's going to be mostly an outdoor sort of museum. And there probably was more stuff further down, but because of the weather situation and stuff, I definitely wanted to get to Prescott before the night was over. And so that was when we went off 40 and we came 89. And we didn't stop any place. We just went right through to Prescott. And this would be our second motel. No, that was Motel 6, wasn't it, that we stayed in there too?
Unfortunately.
Yes, it was. Okay, so I'll pass this over to Jamie to let you tell you about that.
About what?
Oh, yeah. You know,
I
so
didn't drink.
this one's even worse. 1 woman, 3 men. How do I know? I heard them. Pretty darn sure
Okay.
they were shooting a video. I don't think I need to tell you what kind of video. Until like 5 a.m. When when they weren't doing it, she was laughing like one. And I'm talking about a whore. And I said it, whore. Kept me up every time I'd start fall asleep. There were the noises again. I beat on the wall. And it sounded like she was trying to do an opera, and I screamed out, "This is not an opera."
This is not an opera.
I don't know how he slept through it. I don't know how she slept through it, but it was really pissing me off.
I don't know how I slept.
Well,
I can tell you how I slept through it.
You were tired?
Heck yeah!
I wish I had.
I was tired just from stress and anxiety.
Your phone is ringing, Mom.
Yeah, I'm sure it's just Casey. Leave it alone.
Yeah, we're busy.
Yeah, that was the worst one, and
Yeah, it was.
there was a comment card. I had nothing nice to say on that card.
Yeah, and it was kind of a dirty room too.
I just hope she got paid really well for that.
Yeah, no kidding.
Hopefully.
And like I slept through it. He slept through it. Just like
She
we
did-
slept through the showers
I tried
too.
so hard to sleep through it.
I'm like dead once I go to bed sometimes.
I couldn't do
So
it.
anyway,
Well, usually I'm like in the deepest sleep, and I can't like hear nothing.
well there you go. So anyway, the whole reason we went to Prescott, that was kind of like a last minute side trip. I can't remember what I was doing on YouTube, but I found out that Big Nose Kate was buried in Prescott. Now that was another thing I was doing on this vacation. I was doing people that were from the Old West, their last resting place. I had done Warren Earp. He wasn't at OK Corral, the OK Corral thing, but he was an Earp. And I wanted to do Big Nose Kate because of, well, she was a real pivotal part of Doc Holliday's life, and she was there all the way to the end. And there was just no way I couldn't leave without doing that, and it was a very emotional thing for me. If any of you listen to the video, you could hear me trying to hold myself together because I thought I was going to lose it right then and there. But that was about the only thing we seen in Prescott, except we went and we ate at Denny's, which I'll leave that alone. But
we'll not talk about that.
Yeah, we'll not talk about that. We were leaving, and I was telling them about going and seeing Big Nose Kate, and the girl that we were checking out with told us about the 19, and this is the 19 firefighters that had been killed near Yarnell, Arizona. And it was strange. It was like serendipitous because we had just been talking about them the day before because we went through an area that supposedly there was a wildfire going on and we couldn't see the wildfire. And so it was, there was no way I was going to leave Prescott that next day without going and seeing them because they were buried also where Big Nose Kate is buried, but on the other side. And she had said that there was a grave for each of the 19, and some of them were there and some of them aren't there, and some of them have parts, some of them were cremated, and so there's some ashes there.
Yeah.
And some of them just have the headstones. And if you've watched my video, you see that I tried to be respectful. I tried to do that the best I could, and they were staying at the same hotel we were, but they called themselves homeless because they said they go there every day and they clean up
they clean up the 19 firefighters and making sure everything is safe and good.
And pull the weeds and stuff. And so he told us a little bit of history. Now, I don't know if it was true or not, telling us who was buried there and who wasn't buried there. Either way, I thought it was interesting. I left it in the video, and you should check it out because I think the video turned out really well. Yeah, I actually am very proud of that video, to be honest with you. And then, from Prescott, this was where the other little GPS thing happened that was, we were trying to, we said that we wanted to go to Yarnell because we had found out that there was a monument there for the 19 in Yarnell because that was where they had passed in the fire. And so that was what Jamie had posted or put into the GPS. Well, I don't know if it was because we were leaving Walmart or what, but it took us, I don't know. I thought we were like on the last 100-mile tour or something. Oh, I was so damn mad by the time we got to where we were actually supposed to be. Because, here's where we wanted to be was here, and it took us like this.
I know.
I mean, literally. Because when I finally was able to figure out where we were, it was literally just like that. If we had went like this other way, it was like 4 miles. But no, they took us like 44 miles out of our way. And so that was another, I tiraded about that for at least a half an hour. I was pretty mad. Anyway, we came down this 89, and 89 is pretty cool. It actually divides where you're like, it's a divided highway. And like the part that's going south is higher than the part that comes back north. And it's kind of like, it's real, like that, switchbacky. And where they had this memorial, it was on one of these switchbacks. And they had a really beautiful statue there. And I actually did a video, it might be at the end of the video that is of their resting places. But I've posted that on YouTube too. But I was deeply disappointed that we could not actually do the hike because the hike round trip was like 5 miles and we were not prepared for it.
No.
And also physically, I've let myself go and I wasn't prepared to do 5 miles.
Besides, we didn't have enough water.
It was like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, so
and it was hot.
That's
Yeah,
the
it
worst
was-
time of day to even.
It was
Yeah.
harder than a fire.
It wasn't hotter than a fire, but it was hot.
Yeah.
So, but we got pictures and stuff like that. And then from there, we went to Wickenburg, and I wanted to go to Wickenburg because of some of the things that was on that Atlas Obscuria and the Roadside Attractions. And so in Wickenburg, we got to see, that was where the jail tree was. Remember the jail tree?
Yeah.
And
then some woman told you about another train.
yeah, then we found
Bonus
another.
train?
Then we found another train.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like we.
trains, every train.
I mean, I thought we were only going to get like 2 trains on this part of the journey, and we ended up finding trains
Everywhere.
everywhere. On old Route 66, it seems like there must have been a train route on that at one time. And I bet you anything, if I had looked and not been like making sure we were, going to get to where we were going to get the next night, I bet you there was a train probably in Prescott too. Yeah, Casey's going to knock. Casey's here. Go to the door and let him in and tell him right there that we're videotaping and that he should be quiet.
Casey!
Open the door.
Just open the door. So anyway, we spent some time there, and they had some pretty cool things. They had these like statues that talked and stuff, and we got to learn some history there. And definitely worth the trip going down in that direction.
He's
I-
gonna put the dog
Okay.
We were supposed to go further, but I couldn't do LA. I definitely couldn't do Phoenix because Phoenix is just too busy. But our goal was to go from Wickenburg all the way up to Kingman, and that was where we were going to stay the next night. Well, this was on 93. Well, I don't remember where it was on 93. A trucker, I don't know what he was doing, if he had a blowout or if he was just like talking on the phone or not paying attention, but he caused an accident. It was a single vehicle accident. Took hours, it seemed like, to get up 93. And there's like nothing on 93 between Wickenburg and up to where it meets 40. I mean, when Atlas Obscuria tells you to get gas and get your water and get your all that, listen to them. They know what they're talking about, because there is really nothing along there except for Wiki Up, and I don't even remember seeing Wiki Up, to be honest. But the one thing I did see while we were coming up that was I figured out that these really cool things that I thought maybe they are cactuses, but they were Joshua trees. And when we were going to go to Family Jams,
Remember?
we were going to go through Joshua Tree National Park, but we didn't go that way, so I didn't get to, and so I didn't think I was ever going to see a Joshua tree. And so when I realized that these were Joshua trees, I got really excited. And you know me, I just looked for some place to pull off on the side of the road, and I'm like trudging through these weeds to try to get these pictures of these they're beautiful, beautiful creatures. And Angel went with me, and Angel's just a little smarter than Grandma, because because I got thumped. I don't know what thumped me, but I got all scratched up by something that came back flying at me because I insisted on going through these. I mean, they're not named cactuses for nothing. I mean, so
they were probably pokey.
well, they were
trees.
pokey, and
Yeah.
I got all scratched up.
I went a different way.
Yeah.
So I'm smarter than Vampy.
Yeah, he's way smarter than Vampy.
Yeah.
So anyway, we stayed in Kingman, and you know, another thing we did on this, well, because we were going to go to Family Jams, everything on this vacation was kind of messed up, but we needed to waste some time because I did not want to end up in Las Vegas on a weekend, because very expensive for motels. And so we just kind of cooled our jets for 2 days in Kingman, which ended up,
that was the best.
yeah, Kingman, I tell you, that's another place I want to go back to.
Mhm.
That place is really cool. It had, we knew what it had because we watched, was it the Daily Woo or just Adam the Woo?
I don't know which one.
Well, he was doing a Route 66 where he was going from one end of Route 66 all the way to the other. And he had kind of done from Needles to Kingman in one video. And I liked what I seen, and I said to Jamie, we need to do 66 in that area. And he didn't stop. There was this is probably one of the most beautiful locomotives we've seen the whole time we were doing
My
this.
favorite one.
Yeah, it was my favorite one too. It was in a park, and he just kind of drove by it. But we stopped, and we definitely took it in and enjoyed it, and really, it was good. We went to the train museum. Oh God, we went to the train museum there, which was just little model trains, and yeah, I had a little experience at the train museum.
You did?
The guy that took our money. The guy that took our money.
No.
I don't
The
remember.
guy?
Oh, your new boyfriend.
Who's the new boyfriend?
She's got a boyfriend.
It was,
She has a boyfriend named Kingman now.
it was traumatic. I'm not kidding.
Real
This-
nice guy, but that's her boyfriend now.
Oh my God. It's been so long since a guy came on to me, I didn't know what was going on. I was like a deer in headlights. Anyway, this guy is like probably older than David. And you know, he's talking to me about things a man shouldn't talk to a woman about when they don't even know their name. I mean,
We left her behind, so she
it was, I mean, I'm going, has anybody ever
I
seen the
remember.
movie I can't say it.
Shulker box?
No.
I don't know what's a shulker
Say it.
box.
Short.
Oh, sorority boys?
Yes.
Shorty boys.
Short. I can't say that word.
Me
Well, in the
neither.
part where the guy's going up to get the video and he's yelling for his friend about his wingman. Where was my wingman? He goes, and that's what I said to Jamie. What kind of a wingman are you? She left me there with this guy, and it was just like, I'm not kidding. I was traumatized. I mean, I know that probably sounds really stupid to some of you, but to have something like that happen and you're not expecting it, and it just was really traumatizing.
Yeah.
I liked the museum, but
left
the
you
guy
behind.
scared me. He was almost stalker-like because we were trying to videotape, and that's why the videotape of
Wait.
all those trains stopped so abruptly, because he just came up and started talking to me, which I thought was
Wait, which
rude
one are you
anyway.
talking about?
So I'm actually
Yeah,
going to make a
train's going down
sign
to the raft.
where.
Oh.
It's going to be a sign. It's going to look like a little caution sign, and Angel's going to hold it when we're filming, and it's going to say "in production" on it. So people leave us alone because we got interrupted a lot.
In production.
Yeah, we're in production. Leave us
Hey,
alone.
leave us alone. Hey,
Okay,
leave
one
us
of those
alone.
things that goes clink.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, I forget what those are called. So anyway, I think I turned red because that guy really did embarrass me. So anyway, we went down. We went down 66, and I was trying to see if I could see. Oh yeah, where is 66 on here? What was the first? Oh, Cool Springs was the first stop we made. It was like an old gas station, and it was pretty cool. The guy told us there was lots of burros there. We couldn't see them, but we did see their scat on the road
We
and
could
stuff.
hear him too.
Oh yeah, we could hear them, but we couldn't see them. They were very well
No.
camouflaged.
See
And
them?
it was from Cool Springs to Oatman that I had Jamie doing the video.
Oh Lord.
Oh.
Nothing. I'm over here, almost on
Yeah,
the
and she
driver's side.
yeah,
No,
and
thank
I,
you.
yeah, she didn't exactly videotape that the way I would have videoed it, because I would have pretty much kept the camera right on the road, because that was the part I was talking about, was how thin the road was, how there was no
Wait,
guardrail.
which one are you
And here
talking
she is, she's off over
I'm
here.
going in between though. I thought
She-
I was.
She's like
in
this.
between, like
Yeah, you were kind of giving them an overall view, and I pretty much.
She's like this.
I don't know. I
Well,
could.
that's why you miss things, because you go like this and you go, what was that?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, like
So,
that
don't
beer
even.
one. Yeah.
Okay, that's the other
Yeah,
vacation.
that's we're gonna leave that behind.
Yeah, okay.
We're gonna leave
So
that.
anyway, so we videotaped all the way to Oatman, and Oatman wasn't even really on the schedule. I don't remember why we went to Oatman. Oh, because we went back and watched Adam the Woo's video and realized that the burros were in Oatman that we wanted to see. Well, we had been in Oatman for a little while when we were going down the boardwalk, and I noticed the sign on the top of one of the cafes, and the cafe was called Olive Oatman's.
Olive Oatman.
And I don't know a lot about her because I have not read the book yet, but if anybody watched Hell on Wheels, there was a character that was kind of like done after her, the one with the tattoos on her chin. That was her. She was taken by the I think, I'm not sure it was the
Indians?
Navajos. It was Native Americans, and they kept her captive. I guess pretty much all of her life, and she's the one that they named this town after. And it's a pretty cool little place. It's got all sorts, I mean, it's pretty authentic. It's a lot like Tombstone. Of course, it's touristy, but it's a lot like Tombstone in the fact that it's still got like the wooden walkways and all that and all the old buildings. And so if you ever get in that area, it's well worth stopping and seeing. We would have went further, but we had stopped and we had some tea, and the tea made me sick. And I really felt I was going to vomit.
I don't want
And
to
so
talk about that.
I just wanted, when I get feelings like that, I fight or flight, and I just wanted to get back to someplace I knew, which was the motel at that time. Another thing I want to say about Kingman is it was probably the first place that we found someplace to eat that was decent. And what was the name of it?
Mr. D's.
Yes, it was like an old Route 66 diner. Where were you on this vacation? Were you even there? I mean, you keep looking at us like you don't know where we were. See, that's what happens when
yeah,
you
but
play
we're-
that stupid tablet all the time. You miss everything. I told you to take the tablet from him. Anyway,
It shuts him up.
I don't care if it shuts him up. He missed everything.
I don't.
Anyway, we had
Yeah,
burgers there. And oh my God, I would never go through Kingman again without going to Mr. D's. I took pictures of it. I didn't do any video there, but it was right across the street from where the train is in this park.
Oh,
And it's like
I
across
know
the
what-
street from
what
where
you
the
mean.
train museum is. You can't miss it. It's like, yeah, very colorful.
Mm-hmm.
They've got a car with eyelashes outside the place. You can't miss it.
Yeah.
I give it, 5 thumbs up, 5 stars, 10 stars, ever how many stars you can give it.
Every star.
Yeah, that place gets it. It's well worth eating there. It's not terribly expensive for being a little, mom and pop place. It's well worth it. Best place we ate almost the whole time we were gone. Do you remember anything bad about the motel in Kingman? It was another Motel 6.
No. Because that one had not been remodeled yet, and so the bed was actually, it was actual bed and not cardboard.
Okay, I have something I'd like to comment on about the hotel in Kingman. I don't know why they allowed this, but, and this
Oh,
goes out to
okay.
any trucker out there. It's just plain rude when your truck is unhooked from your trailer and you think you should be able to park in a car parking spot.
Oh, I know.
They have those lots bigger for a reason, so that you can put your big rig out there where it's supposed to be. I mean, if I seen a big rig parked in a handicapped spot, I'd have a shit fit. I mean, I'm sorry. Yes, I did use that word. And I felt pretty much that
A
way,
short fit.
where, I mean, I had to park my car beyond these two. There was 2 truckers that did this, parked right there in front of the motel, and I couldn't see the car. And of course, I said that earlier. I was all paranoid about the car, and then I was paranoid about the trucker hitting my car because you don't know what kind of a truck driver they are and how good they are, and so yeah, that's my beef about that motel there. Is those 2 truckers, and I think those truckers live there because their room looked different than everybody else's room.
Yeah, they had like hot plates.
Yeah, they had like hot plates
And,
and
and they had a table.
yeah.
So
And
they
I
probably
did
lived
knock
there.
on the door, and I did talk to one of the truckers to make sure that my car wasn't too close to theirs because I didn't want to end up with any dents in my rental car.
Yeah.
So anyway, we left there. We stayed there 2 days, and oh yeah, the other place we went during that time was we went up the other side of Route 66, and we went to a place called Hackleberry, and I guess according to my friend that lives out here in Highland Meadows, if we would have kept going 66, but this wasn't on the 2 apps I was using, and we would have went to this town right there.
Can I see?
Seligman?
Yeah, that's the name of it.
Where?
I guess there's a lot of old cars there, and he said that it was a really, really cool place.
Oh, it's too bad.
That's too bad we didn't know about
We
it.
could have went there and we could have
We
seen
didn't know.
We didn't know, and I
old
couldn't.
cars.
Yeah, because I mostly just Googled things that, cool things on Route 66. So anybody that knows this town, you ought to put them on the Google so that people can find them, because how else are they going to get any business? So I'm sad about that.
Yeah.
But anyway, we had left there the second day, and we went up 93 still because we were going towards Vegas, and we went to Chloride, which was a Wonder Hussy stop. I wouldn't have known about it unless Wonder Hussy had done a video on it. And I stopped there because there are rock murals there. And Wonder, in all fairness, Wonder Hussy did say in the video that it was best if you had a four-wheel drive. Well, I didn't pay much attention to how far away she was from the town when I was watching it. And I thought,
get the dog.
and I thought that, okay, we'll get the dog. I thought that we could maybe wing it and get up to these murals. Well,
We got a ways in that Malibu was a little, man.
yeah, it is a real, yeah. It's just like a little French bulldog, It really does really well.
Yeah.
And, I bet I could have gotten up there further, and I bet if we hadn't seen too many washouts, we probably could have gotten all the way to the murals.
Yeah.
And if I owned that car, no, I can't say that. That's a lie. Even if I had owned that car, I would have probably turned the car around because I have too much respect for my vehicles. Yeah. Okay, well, we're back. Sorry about the splice in the film. I thought I had more time on my camera than that, or my cell phone than that. And then it was kind of funny because after the video stopped, Angel noticed it because he went and got his rocks. David's over there jumping around like a jumping bean because he needed to use the restroom. And he says, I thought you were doing a Jerry Lewis telephone. I don't mean to laugh so hard. It's just kind of funny. It's hard to explain a vacation in like 10 minutes or less. I mean, we did a lot of things, so of course it's going to be long. So anyway, we know where it stopped, and actually we're just going to kind of pick it. One thing we missed was I wanted to say that Angel had found a painted rock in Chloride and in Wickenburg. It's a get them so you can show them. It's a pretty popular thing. People like to paint rocks, hide them,
Let's do this
and
first.
then see here. No. Come over here and do it, please.
Oh.
And just you can show it from here, like right there.
Well,
And people,
They'll
they'll be
be able to see
able to see it. People,
That
I
one
forgot
was-
what I was saying.
the painted rocks.
Okay, yeah, people hide them, and then other people find them, and sometimes you keep them, and sometimes you re-hide them. Like this particular rock, it came from the club.
well, I was gonna show them.
AJ Rocks. No, is it J? AJ Rocks, yeah. Which I thought was pretty appropriate because it's a rain cloud raining, and we had so much rainfall on us.
It's a rain cloud, and it's happy.
Wickenburg, right?
Yeah, that was Wickenburg.
And we also got one that's very cool.
Okay, and Chloride. Now this one here, I wish I'd have found it. It's a Halloween one, and I guess this particular club, I think it's just a mother and a daughter who do it, and I don't know where they live. It's Avalon Rocks, Arizona, and because we did get online and post the rocks. And it looked like it's just the mother and daughter who do it. And the mother's very talented.
And I'll probably just show them up close, but not too close, just in case they couldn't see it.
Be careful.
Okay. Here's the first one.
I don't know why you get behind the camera. You should have just stayed in front of the camera. Because I can just see this is trouble waiting to happen.
Well,
okay, just hurry up.
And here's this one.
Lots of talented people out in this world.
Yep. We don't have talent.
Speak for yourself. Okay.
Never talent.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so anyway, from Chloride, God, my nose, I'm sorry. We went up 93, pretty much to Vegas. There was no other stops in between. No, that's not true. We stopped at Hoover Dam, which I had warned both of them that I'd went on the Dam tour the year that I went to Vegas with Casey. And of course, you know, if anybody's seen Vegas Vacation with Chevy Chase and seen where he went on the Dam Dam tour, that was what I expected. Well, the Hoover Dam tour is nothing like the Dam Dam tour in Vegas Vacation. So if that's what you want, don't bother.
Yeah, don't bother.
So anyway, we went there and Angel got to see the dam. It was, I don't know, did you think it was exciting?
Yeah, but to me it looked like a human beaver dam.
That's what he called it, a human beaver
A
dam.
human beaver dam. Huh?
Yeah, like humans were beavers, and it took them a long time to build it.
It did. What did it, you're the one that read that thing.
Well, like I can remember.
It was like 9 years or more, because like there was a couple years that they were like thinking about it, and then there was like, yeah.
I don't know, it
So-
was a dam. I mean, I'd never been there, so it was an experience.
Yeah.
And also, as you walk across the dam, you're in Nevada, and then you're in Arizona.
Nevada, Arizona.
So
It's like-
that's kind of cool. It's not very
It's
often.
like 2 different states.
It is 2 different states.
It's not like two different, it is two different.
It is
Yeah.
2 different states.
Yeah.
So it's not very often you get to do that. Because I remember when I went on the Dam Dam tour, we were in Arizona. I mean,
Dam tour.
we were in Nevada,
Nevada.
and I hadn't been to Arizona in a long time. And when I got to cross over, I got all misty because, well, anybody who knows me knows how I feel about Arizona. And even though I just got to step a few feet into it, it was nice. So anyway, we went. I don't think we stopped anywhere in Vegas when we first went through it, did we?
No.
And we went, actually, because we didn't have any reservations to any place. It was a Sunday, and we knew we wanted to stay on Fremont, so we made our reservations at the Golden Nugget, because I was hoping that maybe it'd be cheaper. Okay, we won't talk about that. It was actually staying in Vegas for 3 days.
Yeah.
Actually cost us more than all the other hotels combined, or motels. So anyway, we made sure we had some place to stay because I didn't want to end up not having any place to stay. But I had I don't have that part of the map here because we actually ended up not doing it, but we had a whole bunch of stuff we were going to do in Nevada. And just going through Vegas, well, actually, going through Vegas that first time when we went down to Prim, which is right there on 15 at the border of California, it wasn't bad. I mean, the traffic was backed up. I think it's because a lot of people in Nevada work there, or a lot of people work in Nevada that live in California, and I think that's why the traffic was backed up. I mean, there could have been an accident, but we don't know. Anyway, we went to Prim. And the only reason I wanted to go to Prim was because there's this Whiskey Pete's, I think it's called, casino, and they have the Bonnie and Clyde death car. And Bonnie and Clyde were actually my first heroes as a kid, and I had always wanted to see something of theirs. I mean, I had seen the movie with Warren Beatty and Faye Dunaway, and you know, I'm a kid. I'm impressionable, of course, and I believe the Bonnie. Well, I still to this day don't think that they were that bad. Yeah, they killed people. Yeah, okay, you know, everybody dies. Anyway, they're still my heroes, and so I was really excited to see this car. First thing, they have the car in plexiglass, so the people can't touch it. So when you're filming it, you're getting reflection back, so you
Yeah,
can't.
you can see the casino machines in the back.
Yeah, so you can't really get good video on it. I did do video on it. And then the second thing that hit both Jamie and I, and it really galls me, and I've talked about this in other videos. They were killed in that car. And I mean, they were just killed. They were massacred in that car. And they claim that there was like 138 bullet holes in that car. I mean, I didn't stand there and count them, but it sure didn't look like 138 bullet holes to me. And hardly any of the windows were broke out in it.
Yeah, I questioned it. That was.
Yeah, I questioned it too, even though they had a picture of it from whatever
you can
year.
replica a car.
Yeah, replicate a car, yeah. And I'll tell you the other thing that really made me mad was, what?
Maybe the windows were rolled down at the time.
Oh, yeah, they could have, okay.
Probably.
The windows could have been, yeah, but the doors were shot.
Oh.
That really made me mad was no blood.
That's what she likes about, like, people getting killed and things.
Okay, that's not exactly what I want to say. What I want to say is that if I'm going to go see something like that, I want to see it as authentic as I can possibly see it. And if they were killed in that car, why the hell did they clean that car? I mean, that car should have been left in its same condition from the day that they died. There was no reason to clean that car out. I mean, they even had a shirt there that Clyde wore that they say that he died in. That shirt looked like it had been to the wash and back. There was absolutely no blood stains on it. And Jamie had pointed out it looked like maybe people had even cut some of the bullet holes and they were bigger. You know, if I'm going
Yeah,
to...
they cut pieces of the shirt.
Yeah,
I think
the
it
shirt
was
out.
probably to keep it as memorabilia for killing them. That's what
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
my opinion.
And you know, I said this too when we were in Memphis because we were in Memphis long enough that we were able to find the Lorraine, the motel, the Lorraine Motel, which is where Martin Luther King Jr. was killed. And we were there it was dark, and so we were there after they were closed, but it's very well lit. And that was one of the things I said there, that I was really disappointed that you couldn't tell that he had been killed, you know, had been shot there. I mean, if I'm going to some place where somebody's been shot, I want to see some evidence of this. I mean, when I was even younger, maybe, well, a little bit older than Angel is, a couple years, we went to Ford's Theater on a Landmarks of American Democracy tour. And where, across the street from Ford's Theaters, where they took President Lincoln after he'd been shot. And he was laying on a bed in there where he passed away. Well, the same sheets that he passed away on are still on that bed, at least on the day that I was there, and you could see the blood stains. That's what I want to see. I want to see authenticity. I want to see the real thing. I want to see it as it was on the day it happened. I don't want to see this watered down crap. And so I was deeply disappointed. You know, they were my heroes all of my life, and it was the one and only thing I ever got to see of them. And it was kind of like when I stood on the corner in Arizona the first time, and it was just some nondescript guy standing there. So that's my tirade about that. Did you have any feelings on that?
Well, and from the pictures, it looked like they hitched the car and they pulled it to town with them still in it, and so I bet they're drained in that car, and so, I mean, yeah, why clean it up?
Yeah, exactly. Because I mean, I'm pretty sure nobody drove it after that.
And they had to have been proud of what they did. You know, they got Bonnie and Clyde. So why clean it up?
Well, you know they were proud of what they did because they took pictures of themselves with the dead bodies.
So, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, because you see that in all of history, that was a big deal. They did it with Dillinger. I think they did it with Pretty Boy Floyd. I mean, they even, well, no, they didn't really have cameras back then. But they, you know, that was huge, you know, those gangsters and stuff. You know, whoever shot them, they wanted pictures with them. Even people that had nothing to do with it wanted pictures with them. I mean, you know, if you're going to go that far, you know, please leave it in its entirety. Okay. So anyway, that's enough.
Moving on.
Yeah, moving on after my tirade. We came back up, and we were actually supposed to stop in this place called Seven Stones? Seven Mountains or Seven Stones. Well, I was so disappointed after the Bonnie and Clyde thing. I refused to get off the exit because I was afraid it was going to be this like big long thing to get there. And you know, kind of looking back on it in retrospect, I probably should have went off the exit because it was like these 7 really tall pillars with huge rocks painted in really vibrant colors. We could see it from the highway, but it was so far you would have had to have really good vision to see it. And so, yeah, mistake. And
I could see them.
Well,
They were
you could
pretty.
too with your naked eye, but you couldn't take pictures of the camera.
no.
No.
So that was a mistake.
That was disappointing.
It was disappointing.
Yeah.
So anyway, we got into Vegas and we started to head towards the motel. and we needed to eat because, like I had said earlier in the first half of the video, that we didn't get to eat till late, and we went to a Cracker Barrel, and at the same place where the Cracker Barrel was, across the street from it was Bass Pro Shop.
I always wanted to go to, after watching the Wahlburgers, I wanted to go into one, and it was right there, so I talked her into going to it. Oh, it's so fun.
It was actually one of the highlights
it
of
was
the.
so fun.
It was one of the highlights of the vacation.
If
to
you
be
had
honest.
like just money laying around that you didn't know what to do with, go in there and have some fun.
Oh yeah, I could have too. If I'd had somebody say, "Here's $5,000," I'd had no trouble spending it in there.
Oh yeah.
It is a cool place, and oh my God, I got some really great. I didn't videotape anything because I just don't like to videotape in businesses like that, but I got some pictures. And another really cool thing that happened to me while I was there, because I just nonchalantly kind of said to this one employee there, "I bet this is your dream job," because I would think anybody working there, that especially a guy, it would be their dream job. And I don't know how it was we got to talking about it, but I had found out he was a snake charmer like me, and I'd never met another snake charmer. And so we talked for a long time, and boy, he had some stories to tell. And he had pictures to back his stories up, and he was just, he was just as big a geek as I am. And I hated to walk away. I wanted to hear more. I mean, some of the snakes he had encountered and the things he was able to get these snakes to do for him, it was just really, it was a privilege and a pleasure to meet this guy. I mean, I cannot remember the guy's name. You know, go figure, why not? Because that's just me, I just forget these things. But the guy was really cool.
I think he was cool too.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that. That was probably the best thing that was in Bass Pro Shop was him. And then we went on to go to the motel. This is where all hell broke loose, in my opinion, as far as my courage in anything. We were getting off. Was this the exit to get off to eat, or was this the exit to get off where we were staying? Oh, actually, I think this happened just before we went to eat. I mean, I'm right here, and this trucker's right here, and this big trucker pulled right in front of me. I mean, I'm not kidding. It was like, if I wouldn't have been in that brand new car, if I'd have been in a car I owned, I would have plowed right into the back of this trucker. He left no room. I mean, it was only by the grace of the goddess that we were in a car that was new, a car that had decent, good, brand new brakes in it, that we're alive to even tell this story, because we'd have been dead otherwise. Because I was coming off that exit ramp at the speed you're supposed to, which is, like 55 coming down to 45, and he pulled right out in front of us. And after that happened, I was scared, because that just really, that got to me. And so when we got to the hotel, we put the car in valet, which I had planned on putting in valet anyway, because I just felt it would be safer, because again, I worried about the car getting ripped off again. And I just talked to Jamie, and I just said, I don't think I can do all these other side trips we were going to do. So we were going to go up to Tonopah and Armagosa?
Grossa or something?
Yeah, something like that. And there was just all sorts of places we were going to go. And I couldn't bear the thought of having to take that car out of valet and get back on that freeway. And so we basically did the bus, to go to downtown, or not downtown, we were in downtown, to go to on the Strip, and we stayed mostly on Fremont. And I've been to Vegas twice before this, 2013, 2014. Jamie's once, Casey was there once, well, no, twice now. And so this would have been my third trip. Well, Jamie and I would talk about this, I don't know how many times, about how Vegas was the most fun place on earth. We thought it was better than Disneyland. Well, sadly, we can't say that anymore. I mean, it just about broke my heart. It's not that it's gone downhill as far as what they have there, but what is going there.
Caliber of people.
the
I'm not
caliber
afraid
of
to say
people.
it.
Yeah, the people. There's a lot of people from other countries. I'm not going to. Please don't mention the countries. I'm not going to mention the countries because I'm not racist towards these particular people. But let me tell you, these people are rude, and we're talking multiple countries that aren't even close together. And it's just like rude. And I'm actually thinking that the people that were driving so rudely and so badly may have been these same rude people that were on the strip. But it was unreal. I mean, we were going down Fremont Street because my butt's so wide. Jamie was behind me and didn't see this, but I kid you not, this guy was walking, an angel was walking, just like this. And it was kind of like one of those things that happen in slow motion. The guy was grabbing for Angel, and Angel kept moving. Angel didn't see the guy grabbing for him, so Angel didn't slow down. But it was just like the guy just missed him, and Angel, was like, just like those things you see in the movies where somebody's trying to catch somebody falling off a cliff. That was the kind of moment I seen because it was moving in slow motion for me.
Now, if there had been contact and you told me I'd be the proud owner of his sack right now.
Yeah. That's true too.
I mean it.
Yeah, I would
I'd
be.
have went
I
back
would.
and
I would.
I
I
have
would have went
something
after.
to say.
What do you have to say?
If that guy tried to grab me,
Well, he did try to grab you, but you didn't
Yeah.
see it.
I just kept walking, but if he grabbed me, I would be smacking his face.
I don't know about face.
Well,
I know
yeah,
you just said something because
Yeah, well, you
you're
do.
an
You
outspoken
need.
kid.
Yeah, you do. You need to smack him. You do.
Yeah,
That's
I would
exactly
need to-
right. And you make noise, and you
Yeah.
yell fire. You don't yell help. You yell fire. Anyway,
Yeah.
so that happened on Fremont amongst all these rude people, and then Angel and I went down and we were videotaping this band that was doing 90s music or 80s music. I can't remember which one it is. They weren't too bad. They were actually pretty good. I filmed them for about half an hour live on Facebook. And there was this, on Fremont, there's these black painted circles, or maybe they're taped, where if you're a street performer, you have to stay within those black circles. And there was these three women. They were dressed up like, Vegas showgirls. They had the feathers and all that. I think I showed them in the video that I posted.
Probably
And-
did.
I did. Anyway, they were taking pictures with guys, and I was kind of watching them and watching the show at the same time. And, there's another thing. Guys think just because a woman is scantily dressed, is that what it would be? Because you're supposed to be a dancer, that you can just touch a woman anywhere. Well, you can't just touch a woman anywhere. And, of course, these women can't say anything because they're working for tips. And I seen some pretty rude guys touch these women in places they shouldn't have been touching them, especially in front of children that were on the strip too. Anyway, what I didn't see it happen, but all of a sudden there was all this money laying in front of us. And I thought what had happened was that the woman who was collecting the money in the purse that she had on her shoulder, I thought that something had happened. The shoulder strap broke or something, and the money had fallen out. Because the only person who really jumped into action and kind of knew what was going on was one of those girls in the trio of the girls that were doing this. And, so she was like on top of that money in no time. And so right away I thought, oh my God, this is their money. Angel went after some of it. I jumped on some of it to hold it down so that nobody else could get it while she was picking it up. And the money that Angel had, he tried to give to her, and she told him to keep it. It was $3, but I thought that was really sweet of her to let him keep it. Well, I didn't know until after we had left, and Angel told me that something hit him in the back of the head.
Yes, someone.
That we realized the money had actually been thrown from behind us, and it had, I don't know, must have hit him in the back of the head, and there was probably a wad, about $30 in this wad, and went up over his head, and that's why it fell right in front of us.
Yeah, she just jumped into action to get it.
And I've been asked by several people since I've told this story, are you sorry that you didn't keep any of the money? And you know what? No, I'm not sorry I didn't keep any of the money, because I still would have done the same thing if I would have known the money came from behind me. I still would have given it to those girls, because after seeing how men treated them and stuff, I didn't need that money so bad in my life, that I couldn't let them, let them have it, and I don't regret that, and it's to this, it feels, this decision still feels good even now.
Yeah.
So, and you don't feel bad about keeping, well, they give you the 3, but you don't
No.
feel bad, no.
No, if any money dropped, I would help them pick it up, and yeah, I wouldn't feel bad to keep any of it. I wouldn't.
Or not to keep it.
Yeah, not to keep it.
So, see, we're raising them right. So anyway, that's the way I feel about that. So, was there anything in Vegas that we did that was fun that we can share? The Coke Bear.
Well, yeah, I really like the fact that we finished off a family tradition of getting Angel's picture taken with the Coke Bear, because
My first time.
Casey had his picture taken with the Coke Bear. Then when Mom and I went the second time, we had our picture taken with him, and then this time Angel had his picture taken.
Yeah,
with him.
it's my first time taking pictures
And
with the Coke
so
Bear.
it's we're complete.
Yeah,
And
we're all complete. Except for Grandpa.
Yeah, well, he don't want to
He
go to
doesn't
Vegas.
want to go to Vegas, so he will
But
never.
well,
get a
this
picture
was
taken.
another serendipitous moment in the vacation. We went. It was August 27th that he went and he had his picture taken with the Coke Bear. It was August 27th in 2013 that Casey had his picture taken with the Coke Bear, and Jamie knew right away because I'm going. I wonder if that was the day that Casey had his picture taken. 'Cause I knew we were there for his birthday, because his birthday is August 25th. And Jamie says, I walk by that picture every day, I'm sure it is. And when I got home, I just go like, whoa. I love things like that when they
Yeah,
happen.
so me and my uncle had the same picture taken at
At the same date, but,
at the same, yeah.
5 years
but
apart.
5 years apart.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a lucky number anyway. So,
Yeah.
so there you go.
So me and Casey are lucky.
Yeah.
they're like-
So, we got to see Hershey World. That was a
I
disappointment.
love Hershey.
For as long as it took them to build that thing, it was a very big disappointment.
I love M&M's.
Yeah,
we
but
went to
we didn't buy any though.
No.
But that was a disappointment.
Yeah.
I did go to Mandalay Bay. That was one of the things I definitely wanted to do. And I just uploaded that video, and I actually did a little talking video explaining why I wanted to do that. It has to do with true crime and everything. And if you want to know more about that, you can watch the video about Mandalay Bay on our YouTube page. But I was glad that I got to do that.
And all the jobs he created with the.
Oh, that's
the
true.
Security guards.
And then we're not being flipped when we say that
Not.
either, because the security in Vegas really has gone up. I mean, like, they don't even let you into your motel room at night past a certain time, like 9 o'clock or something.
Yeah, without showing your card.
And they take the card and they swipe it on
Yeah.
something to know that you actually really are a guest there. And I'm pretty sure that those people probably didn't have a job before that. And
So-
and there just seemed to be a lot
Oh,
more.
same thing with the pool too.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
the
they
pool,
you couldn't go into the pool without.
Yeah, because
So, yeah. So he helped the job market there by doing what he did. It's unfortunate that he had to take so many other people down with him. That's I touch on that in my little spiel that I talk about at the beginning of the video, that if he truly was suicidal, I just don't know why he just didn't do himself in and leave everybody else alone. But we'll never know the answer to that. So, kind of like Charlie, we'll never know the answer to that either.
yeah.
It'll be one of those great mysteries in life. What?
Speaking of pool,
Was that you, Casey?
Yeah.
Okay.
Speaking of pools.
there's this cool, nice pool.
At the hotel.
There
Yeah.
at the hotel.
Yeah.
There are sharks in a tank
Mm-hmm. It's at the Golden Nugget.
at the Golden Nugget.
Yeah, Angel can't swim, so he. But you said a man helped you over to where the tank was, where the sharks were?
Yeah, a man took me over there. And there's like fish.
Everybody wanted to touch Angel for some reason. We don't know what the attraction is
I
there.
don't know. There was, and there was
Glad
even,
I wasn't down there.
I didn't see it either because I was sitting down.
there was even one fish that looked like Dory or Nemo.
Oh, did you? You seen a fish like that? A clownfish? Oh, no, that's... Is that a
Like-
clownfish?
Nemo's a clownfish.
Yeah,
Like-
Nemo's a
Like
clownfish.
Nemo or Dory.
Are you
Which
talking
of
about,
the two?
are you talking about Bruce? Because Bruce was a shark.
No, he's talking about the colorful fish.
Oh. I didn't know
Orange
that.
and white?
I didn't know
Orange
that
and
that
white?
was a saltwater tank, though.
Yeah.
Because those are saltwater fish. I didn't know that was a saltwater tank.
I don't know.
Alright.
But
Well, that's cool.
yeah,
So he got to swim every day, and what ended up happening?
is I got sick.
Yeah, he got sick, and I
But
said, and
I got better.
yeah, he got better. Well, I tried to warn them because it's all over the internet about all these different diseases and stuff you can get from swimming pools, but nobody listens to Kim. You know, they all think it's just fake news. It's not fake news, trust me. It's the truth.
But at least it went away.
Yeah,
The sickness.
but it kind of sucked that you got sick. You know.
Well, at least when I got sick, it didn't.
Well, you were sick all the way until we got home.
Yeah.
So anyway, then I'm trying to think. Okay, one thing I liked about the Vegas trip, we did find two places that were pretty good to eat. One was called the Shake Shack. That was just across the street from New York, going towards, or no, it was on the same block as New York. At the very end of the block, is that the Monte Carlo that's next to New York? I think it is. Right there on the very end. And then it was kind of expensive, but I didn't think the food was too bad. I don't think Jamie liked it too much, but I didn't mind it.
Can I go get some more water?
Yes. And then, and look at the camera too. And then the other place we found, damn, we didn't find this place till the last day. It was called Wanataco.
Yeah, it was just, some little walk-in joint on Fremont.
Yeah, it was in a casino. I can't remember which casino.
I don't know, on a corner.
It was on a corner. And, yeah, sorry about that.
Let me check.
Well,
It's still in a good place.
Okay.
well, yeah, but you shook it. That was Angel hitting the camera. Anyway, because I had ate there every single day. They had great carne asada. And then the other thing in Vegas too, which Jamie and I had discovered this the last time we were there. It's a place called Container Park, and it was not as built up as it was this time when we were there the first time. It was actually kind of like in production.
Yeah, I think they were like revamping it last time we were there.
Oh yeah, maybe making it better because it's further down Fremont, getting towards where, from what I've heard, it's pretty unsavory down there. And one thing I was really, really surprised of, and this one definitely gets the award for the most unique looking caboose on the trip. There was a caboose at the very end of Container Park, painted completely black, and it was a tattoo parlor. And it was like way cool looking. I just like going, yes, I love it, I love it, I love it. And I did a small little video on that. And then when we came back, we went, because one of the other things that I had missed when we went to Vegas both times, I didn't realize that in the Flamingo, there was a monument to Bugsy Siegel. Because I like Bugsy Siegel. He's another one of my heroes. I mean, look at him. Vegas wouldn't be where Vegas is. At least it wouldn't have been where it was when it was, if it wasn't his dream and his, he's the one that did it. And so I was able to get the picture of the monument that's there in a nice little serene garden of his at the motel there. And then we went to the El Cortez, and I don't know how many people know, but the El Cortez was actually the first motel he owned in Vegas. Him and Meyer Lansky owned it together. And so I went in there because I wanted to see what kind of a tribute that they did to Bugsy Siegel. Well, that was another bee in my bonnet. They didn't have anything. And some of the people acted like they didn't even know who Bugsy Siegel was, which was very offensive to me. I mean, the man is he's infamous. I mean, how can you not know who he is? So that was a disappointment. But after the place we stayed was really nice. I mean, that was probably the best place I've ever stayed in my whole life. Best bed. The Golden Nugget.
Oh, yeah, Golden. I loved it.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I could live like that. Yeah, uptown. Oh yeah, you betcha. I could do that forever. That was really nice. It was expensive, but I guess it was worth every penny of it.
But the only thing that I didn't mind is all the people inside. I didn't mind it.
Well, that's good. Okay, when we left Vegas, we did not. Oh, you didn't tell about the billboard. You gotta tell about the billboard.
Tell about the billboard.
It gave me a giggle, because I'm not sure who was super smart and placed this billboard here. It was at the exit to get to the Strip, and it was a billboard that said, "Come visit Mesquite." Who knows who lived in Mesquite?
The Vegas shooter.
Yeah.
We didn't get a picture of the sign, but yeah, it kind of was.
We did see the sign.
Yeah, I mean, to me, that was kind of a slap in the face, and I kind of thought it was done in poor taste. But, so that was kind of, yeah, I just shook my head. Anyway, when we left Vegas, we came back 15, because we were originally going to come back 40, and I said, no, let's do something different and come back 15. So we actually went through Mesquite, and I knew where the Vegas shooter lived. I had his address and everything, but I don't know. I just decided it was in poor taste to go to his house, considering it was in a housing development that's actually a gated community. And I just thought, man, there's probably enough looky-loos to go there anyway. I don't need to do it. If you want to see what his house looks like, it's on the internet anyway.
Yeah, and you can go look at it.
And we ended up eating in Mesquite. We ate at a Del Taco, which really burns my butt, because if we would just held out a little bit longer and went to St. George, there was a Culver's there.
Could have had a Butterburger.
Could have had a Butterburger.
Culver's Butterburger.
We love Culver's whenever we go to Arizona.
Well, actually, Freddy's is good too.
Yeah, but there was no Freddy's. Whenever we go to Arizona and we go to Sierra Vista, which is probably our favorite town in Arizona, we eat at Culver's Butterburger every single day. And that's no lie. We eat there every day.
Yeah.
I mean, other people might not like it, but Kim can eat the same thing every day for a long time.
Me too.
And I love it. So, yeah, I was disappointed because that was our last chance to have a Culver's burger before we got out of Culver's country, and we missed it.
Yeah, we missed Culver's.
Yeah. And actually, before we got to Mesquite, we went to, what was the name of that? The Valley of Fire. It was a state park.
Oh, Valley of Fire, yeah.
Very pretty, a lot of red rocks. I had to pay to go into it, which kind of irked me because I have one of those passes that you can get into all the national parks for free, but it wasn't too bad. It was only $9, so I could live with that.
Oh yeah, that was the one with all the goats and the
Oh yeah, tell that story.
Yeah, there was up in the shaded area. There was I guess they were mountain goats. I don't know, and so getting pictures of them and everything, and
well, they were just minding their own business.
well, yeah, they're just sitting up there, and everybody was coming in there getting pictures, and this group of people came in, and they.
Please tell them they were from another country. You need to tell that part.
They were French.
Okay. They were French.
They were French. Yeah. Okay. So, and they were taking pictures. They were getting up close. They were throwing stuff. They were just inching as close as they could, scared off the goats. And I heard some people behind me as they were walking up wanting to get pictures. They're scaring off the goats. And that upset me, because why you gotta come to our country and do stuff like that?
Well, yeah, and another group of, I'm not going to say where they were from, but they were also from another country. Yeah. And another part in that park, they were throwing rocks at holes in these rocks. Well, anybody who knows anything about these formations like that, you know, bats can live in those holes. There can be owls in those holes. Who knows what is in those holes? Seriously,
Yeah.
there's all sorts of life that lives in those things. I mean, it's a whole nother world. And they were throwing rocks, and they were hitting inside these holes. And I just wanted to smack them. I mean, I thought, you know, go to your own country and do this stuff. Don't come to my country and do this, because that's disrespectful. You come here, I want you to respect things. And I want you to definitely respect our wildlife. You know?
That's what I was gonna say. Respect everything.
Exactly. And it made me mad. And Angel and I, this is when I did the video where we did that little short hike to Mouse's Mouse's Hole or Mouse's Trap. I can't remember the name of it. And of course, you know, here I am hiking to go think I'm going to see something real cool, which we never did find what we were supposed to find.
And she got
here
stuff.
she got the cool stuff by staying in the car sweating to death.
Yeah.
Because I didn't see any real wildlife anywhere on this part of the vacation.
Well, we did see.
I think the aliens came and got the wildlife. I think, you know, because when's the last time we were anywhere near there? Like 2 years ago. And you know, road runners and this and that, and we've seen lots of wildlife. And this time around, there's like nothing. I mean, nothing. I know the aliens came down and they beamed them up.
And
they did something.
And if you're going to say, well, you were there in the summertime, it was hot. We were there in July. It was even hotter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we were sweating to death.
Yeah. So no excuses that there was no wildlife.
Yeah.
So I was very disappointed. I mean, I was glad that Jamie got the pictures, but I was still disappointed.
Yeah, we were not there.
I said, this was my dream. I wanted to see a desert tortoise.
But
let me finish my story. And I wanted to see a javelina.
Javelina.
Well, you know, anybody who works with that realm, I guess I needed to be much more specific, because the only I seen 2 javelinas. One was in a cage and the other was dead on the side of the road. So next time I guess I need to be much more specific about exactly what I want to see. And the only tortoise I seen was made out of grass. So Vampy didn't get to see the 2 things she really wanted to see badly. And I didn't get to see one.
But we did see a turtle, but you thought it was a desert tortoise,
and it
was a box turtle.
Yeah, that was on the other vacation.
Yeah.
So anyway, if you get a chance to go to the Valley of Fire, it was actually the first state park in Nevada, according to the sign that was there. It was the first park that was ever sanctioned a state park. And so it had a lot of really cool things, and if it wouldn't have been so hot, hiking would have been really cool. But you know, I just don't hike in the heat, because you can be overtaken by heat stroke and not even realize it's happening to you, and then the next minute you're dead. So I'm not going to take chances like that.
Oh yeah, they tell you not to anyways.
They tell you not to hike in the heat.
Yeah, don't hike in the heat. Hike when it's cold.
From there, I can't remember exactly if we seen other things along the way before we got to Hurricane.
Where's that giant Aestheticus one at?
Actually, that was down here in Hackleberry.
Oh, was it?
I forgot.
Oh.
Because we went from Vegas and we stayed the night in Hurricane, and that is in Utah. Because we came up into Utah. Oh my God, I have to share this. I've always thought that Utah is a very beautiful state because they have all those red rocks there and stuff. But the bottom part of Utah, it is absolutely breathtaking.
Yeah.
And I definitely want to go there and spend a whole lot more time in the bottom of Utah exploring exactly what they have there. Because, oh my God, I couldn't believe it every turn of the way. And, you know, when I had decided that we were going to come home this way, I didn't even know that Zion National Park was near Hurricane, because it never told me that. Didn't even tell me that on the Google. And so we got to go to Zion, and we didn't get to do any hiking or anything again, but we did get to do a bus tour, because they don't let you actually drive through Zion. They take you on a bus.
And they drive so fast you can't see anything anyway. Your eyes can't focus.
Yeah,
my eyes did.
It's kind of like the Blair Witch Project. But, you know, it still was pretty. We couldn't spend much time there because it was really just not someplace that I had on the agenda. But we did spend a couple hours there. And, but we had spent the night in Hurricane. And I was all excited. Well, I wanted to go to Hurricane, but Jamie didn't want to go to Hurricane. And I wanted to go there. One, there was a sign I wanted a picture of that was called Purgatory Correctional Facility. I mean, I just couldn't get over that name, Purgatory. I thought, oh my God, that is a great name for a correctional facility. Second, there was a place called Molly's Nipple.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, our hotel room had a nice view.
Oh
of
yeah, we had a
Molly's Nipple.
perfect view of Molly's Nipple, and it is exactly, it is named that, perfect name for that, because that's exactly what it looks like. It's not a mountain, but it's a.
And it has a little nippy.
Yeah, it does. It has a dark spot on top, and it definitely has a little nippy, like Angel said.
Nippy.
I would have loved to have gotten better pictures like later in the day, but you know, I knew that if we didn't keep moving, we were going to get stuck in this territory where the motels were really expensive because of the big hole in the ground called the Grand Canyon. So we had to keep moving. But Zion and that whole area was just gorgeous. And you know, Hurricane was a town that if I was going to move to Utah, I seriously would think about living in a little town like that. That was a gorgeous little town. And like the next weekend they were going to have a peach festival. I mean,
Peaches and cream?
no, just peach. Oh, they might have had peaches and cream. But I mean, how Doc Hollywood is that? I mean, seriously. I mean, I've always wanted to live in a place like the movie Doc Holliday. Grady.
Hollywood.
I'm sorry. Doc Holliday's channeling himself through me. Doc Hollywood. Grady, South Carolina. I don't know if it exists, but I've always wanted to live in a small town like that where everybody cared about everybody and it was just a really great atmosphere. And I kind of got that feel from that little town. I don't know if you could come in there, not living there all your life, and have that sort of thing happen. It'd be kind of cool if you could. And then from there, we went to Kanab and
For a giant
shopping cart. Yeah,
The Brenda cart.
yeah. We went to the.
It was
we went-
huge.
yeah, that was the only reason we went to Kanab. We wanted to see the giant shopping cart.
And we went shopping.
Oh yeah, we went into the store there. I don't remember doing any shopping, but yeah, we went into the store there. And then we also went through the grand staircase. Oh, and also at about that same time, we had run into another dam that was on reclamation land, I think it's called. It was actually a reservation also. And it was really a cool dam. They had one of those bridges that go from one
To another.
yeah, I don't know what those bridges are called, where they have those high arches like this. I love those kind of bridges, and I actually could do a whole pictorial on something like that, because I think those bridges just are breathtaking and gorgeous. So that was another bonus that we got, was the little dam that we got to stop at. And we didn't stop any place in the Grand Staircase National Park, because we actually didn't even see a place where there was a ranger station or anything like that. God, my nose is starting to itch. Sorry, excuse me. But it was somewhere, and this is when we dropped back down into Arizona to come 160 to come home and come across. And somewhere along in there, I actually wanted to go to this place where it was off on 163, where the picture in Forrest Gump, when he stops and he says, "I'm pretty tired now, I think I'm done running," that part, that's actually right there on that highway someplace, and there's actually a sign that tells you it's there. And I really wanted to do that, but I can't remember where we were. We had stopped for gas, and this woman that she's not part of the Water Association, but she works for somebody that's part of the Water Association, called me and I shouldn't have called her back. Big mistake, because the woman just, oh my God, talk about, right away my eyes started twitching, that thing in my eye started messing up. It was just like, I couldn't stand it, and she had me so mad. I just wanted to get my ass home. That was all I wanted, because I was pissed. And the vacation was no good after that. I shouldn't have let her get under my skin like that, but you know, that's why I had my phone off most of the time when I was gone, because those water customers, that's what they do to me. They just really get under my skin, and they get under it easy. So we pretty much drove from Hurricane that night all the way down to Gallup. And actually, I wanted to come home the rest of the way home, but there was, I'm sure you heard about it, there was a truck that was going eastbound.
Yeah, the semi truck who lost
He had a blowout.
blowout tire, went through the medium onto the oncoming traffic and hit a Greyhound bus.
Yeah, and it was all over the news. And that actually happened that day, and we couldn't get through. I mean, if it hadn't been dark, I would have went 66. But I mean, I was kind of, because we hadn't ate all day, I started having I don't know, something happens to me where I get all shaky inside, and I almost feel like I'm going to throw up. And when I get to that point, I need somebody to talk me down, and because Jamie was with me, she just wasn't going to do it. I got a hold of Casey, and I had him just talk to me for a little while, and he actually did that for me a couple times during the trip and talked me down off the ledge, and that helped a lot. But we stayed at well, you know, I should say, when we stayed in Hurricane, we stayed at a Wingate. That was the second best motel we stayed at. That was really nice. And that was the only motel that price matched TripAdvisor for us. And that place ended up costing less than most of the Motel 6s we stayed at.
Yeah,
And
I'm done with Motel 6.
Yeah, I'm done with Motel 6 too. Until what they had.
Roku.
Yeah, they had Roku.
So we were able to get on our Netflix, you know, and watch, and it was pretty darn cool.
Yeah, it was. And they had a really decent breakfast the next morning too, which was not something we found in most of the motels we stayed at. We did not get breakfast. And even though we paid a lot of money. But when we stayed in Gallup, well, that was a Fairfield Inn.
Also nice.
Also very nice. And I actually was going to stay somewhere else, but they quoted me over $100, and I said I refused to pay that much money. I mean, we didn't even pay that much per night at in Vegas, and so I kept going up Route 66, and we see this really nice motel. It's the Fairfield, and Jamie goes, "Yeah, well, if we couldn't afford that other one, we can't afford this one either." Anyway, we go in. I go in there, and there was a woman in front of me, and she was talking about this accident, and that's how we found out about what happened. And anyway, so I kind of just flippantly said to the woman when it was my turn, "So how much would it cost for 3 of us to stay here?" You know, because I pretty much figured I was walking out of there. Well, she said, "Well, tonight we can let you have it for $73. Well, yeah, okay. I had that credit card out faster than you can say.
Because we got breakfast too in the morning.
And we got breakfast too in the morning. So that worked out really well.
Was that the time when I wasn't feeling good?
Yeah, you weren't feeling good.
You were sick then.
You were sick. But, so yeah, we stayed there, and that was a nice place too.
It was nice, actually.
Yeah, it was very nice. And then we got up in the morning, and while we were this was while I was still on the ledge, I noticed a train, because I don't miss some things. So we went back, and I got pictures of the train, and when I do put the train videos up, this will be the train that actually has a map of New Mexico on it, and it's, what?
Well, I just can't believe it wasn't in that magazine with the train, because, I mean, this is Gallup, and so we went there for that other train that said it was over here when it was over here.
Should I go get the dog?
And this last train was also in Gallup.
Oh, yeah.
So
We'll get the
I don't
dog.
know why it wasn't in the same magazine.
That's a good point. Well, this was a
I'm gonna
caboose.
look at
It was
the
a
phone.
caboose again.
We're still
It's fine.
okay?
Okay. It was another caboose, but it was really cool. And that was the last train that we got on our trip. But as far as trains go, we scored well. I mean, I was very pleased. I've got quite a bit of train footage to put together, which I'll be doing some disclaimers on that because I know nothing about trains. When I look at a train, I look at the beauty of it. I look at a lot of different things. You know, my grandfather worked in the roundhouse. I was not born yet. He was retired by the time I was born. But I think that's where my love of trains comes from. And so when I look at things like this, it makes me feel close to him, and I just enjoy them. I always have. I can't remember not ever enjoying trains because my grandparents lived like right on the railroad tracks. I mean, it was like, I mean, you could read everything that was on the side of the train. They lived so close to the railroad tracks. And
Really?
Doc.
that's our dog, Doc.
Yes. He's being a
And I very much played on the railroad tracks the whole time I was growing up when we went to visit my grandparents. Younger than him,
Doc.
always on the tracks playing. I knew enough to move when the train came. I mean, I don't know why people are so ignorant about that fact now, but there is issue with people nowadays. But anyway, that was the last thing we pretty much did. But I think that there's more in Gallup to see. But man, we wanted to come home.
I was ready.
Yeah, I was ready.
I was ready to, and like I said, I was really about the whole water association thing, and so we came home, and pretty much I can't say, you know, an overall. I mean, I'd give this, you know, even with the Vegas debacle and all that stuff, I would still give this vacation a definite 4.5 stars, because
Me too.
I've seen some of the
4.5
best
stars.
stuff I've ever seen on a vacation in my whole life, and some of the most interesting parts of this country that I have never seen. I mean, I've seen a lot of cool things, but I tell you, the back roads, the exits that looks like there's nothing on them. We were just talking about that when the video was down, and I had to download the last video we did. The next vacation we go on, I think we're just going to take every exit we see that looks interesting, and we're just going to see what we can find. And that's going to be our next vacation.
Yeah. I'm gonna probably
We
be
either
sick
score
of
or we won't, you know.
Yeah,
Doc.
and you know, I mean, we'll decide on a number of miles that will go off that exit, and if we get past that, then we'll turn around unless we know for sure there's something there. But I think that's definitely the way we're going to do it next time, because I think I would definitely like to take the very same vacation again and do it like that.
And go to the exits.
Yeah.
Every exit
Because
that
David
we
and I
missed.
are going to go in April, but I think we're going to concentrate on the center of Arizona, because there's some things there that we haven't seen and I'd like to do. But and I still want to go to Death Valley, and you have to go to Death Valley either in the winter or the very early spring. But that vacation's going to have to wait.
Maybe go to Death Valley when it's cooler.
And then also I want to go to Family Jams next year, so I got to keep that in mind when I plan
So
on
we can see Jimmy.
to see Jimmy, see Stoner. Maybe he can get Indiana there. Yeah, that would be
A
wow.
win-win.
Yeah. Well, Stoner says he's going to try to get it booked in a nightclub, which would be really cool. So, but anyway, thank you for coming along on our marathon chat here.
Yep.
I definitely enjoyed sharing that. Did you?
Well, I didn't talk much, but yeah.
Well, you said you weren't going to talk much. That's why I knew I had to
Well,
fill
did
in.
I talk much?
Yeah, you talked much. You did
Yeah.
good.
Hey.
So now I'd like to get David to sit where Jamie is, and we
Or
talk,
probably sit right here.
or wherever,
Yeah.
and talk about the vacation that we went on. Because I mean, Angel and I can talk about it, but
Yeah, maybe it can be you and Grandpa, and one with just you and her, and you and me.
oh yeah, people would love that. Okay.
We would
So,
have different.
Anyway,
things.
I'm going to stand up because I need to shut the video off. Or,
Oh.
Are you going to turn the video off?
Yeah.
This is Vampir's Kiss.
And Angel.
Like, subscribe, tell all your friends I need people on my YouTube page. Bye.
Bye.